base with fantastic StarCraft action. We just saw JaKaTaK pretty much wreck the crap out of Namshar with very, very effective everythings.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that of all the players in this group, Namshar was probably the biggest threat to JaKaTaK. So seeing him like take him out so decisively means that the winner of this match between Zergwave and Dolan needs to kind of go like full power. They need to try their best because JaKaTaK is not a player that's going to go down easily.
Yeah, not at all. And it's really interesting to have seen the rise and fall of JaKaTaK being strong before, and then Heart of the Swarm, oh, what's going on? And then coming back. We have a lot of that, a lot of those storylines coming in. Bly, Namshar performing quite well as well. Beastie Cutie is in the round. Like Beastie Cutie, wasn't he a Starbow player? Like what the heck happened? He's back, okay. This sort of madness returning of things, and it's very cool because I feel like just Legacy of the Void is such a different game, and it's brought a lot of excitement and even players back to the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like compared to Heart of the Swarm, Legacy definitely created some of the more impactful changes. Heart of the Swarm brought a lot of things that I felt were necessary, but were less like completely revolutionary in the way we play the game.
Yeah, completely agree. A lot of balance stuff going on in Heart of the Swarm, coming in and helping to give tools to races that need them. But Legacy of the Void, I feel like, was a lot more design-heavy expansion where it's sort of like, we're going to make this game more interesting. We're going to reward skill in a more meaningful way. We're going to create more micro situations and more gradients of success. These different sort of major design principles in RTS that I love to be coming into the game. And it's very, very nice to see them taking a couple pages out of the books of Riot and Valve, things like that.
Yep, and we're going to be hopping into the game here. We have ZVT on Ruins of Ceres, which is the same map we saw at the beginning of the last series.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to see if we got horizontal spawns again. Only time will tell. Zergwave. There's a player named Dead Zerg who's actually a Protoss player, and it's the most frustrating thing ever. Thank you, Zergwave, for playing Zerg and being Zerg. It makes things much better. We are going to get horizontal again. Spawning in the top right. The Purple Terran from Team Ascension Pro, it's Dolan.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have a pretty good friend of mine, actually, Psystorm's Zergwave.
Right, no bias. Now you've gotta be an unbiased caster.
These casters, they seem really biased towards the Zerg player Zergwave here. I don't really think it was particularly professional.
Keep in mind, being human beings, we will be biased as F. But just so y'all know, I swear like a trucker. I do. Like in normal everyday conversation, I'm in a constant state of swearing, and I don't think it's like a mean thing or a bad thing. It's just sort of the way I express myself, and doing more casts for tournaments that are like, hey, if you would not say the F word so many times, we wouldn't mind it, you know what I mean, has been, an adjustment for me. And so I'm improving, you're improving, just like we improve in StarCraft, we learn how to defend fully droned third bases. We also learned how to stop ourselves before saying words that may be offensive to some people for arbitrary reasons.
And going back to your previous point about caster bias, Dolan, he is a really kind of prolific player on ladder. He plays a lot, and I actually ran into him in the RSL qualifier. It went exceedingly poorly for me. He is very, very good.
All right, so we'll see if your buddy Zergwave can get revenge for you, or is Dolan just too good? We do have the Reaper Expand coming out. No surprises over here. On the other side of the map, we do have that hatch gas pool action. I love this, pulling the workers out of the extractor at the proper time to get exactly 100 gas at exactly the time the pool exactly finishes.
Yep, and the Reaper's going to move into the natural now. There are only 2 lings out so far, and the Queen isn't done, so he might be able to pick off a drone here, and definitely will be able to kill some lings.
Yeah, this is a little bit different than we usually see in the beginning of the game. Normally the 4 Lynx and come out a bit faster. I wonder if he was just a little bit on the greedy side here, delaying that spawning pool a bit, which can be dangerous. Interesting positioning over here as well for the queen. This is like a ZVZ positioning between the spawning pool and the hatchery. Not something you usually see. Generally speaking, the spawning pool goes in the back to prevent any sort of loop arounds. Wonder what that's what the idea is behind that.
Yeah, I don't know, because if hypothetically, if Dolan had done, let's say, a 3-Rax Reaper build, that wouldn't really be advantageous to have your queen stuck there, because that just means it has less places to run from Reaper grenades.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like the perfect it's the Reaper grade scenario. You roll up there with 6 Reapers, you go one side, left side, other side, and it just bounces through the air for a while until it's all over. Very interesting. It does get pushed out of the way occasionally by Zerglings coming through here. So, bit of a non-conventional... Ooh, love the Zerglings in the high ground. Non-conventional building placement here for our buddy Zergwave. Dolan is going to get a pretty nice scout off. He does manage to kill 1 worker with 1 Reaper. So, not bad. Not bad at all. That Reaper's not really designed to be like, I'm going to get tons of kills. It's just there to make sure, okay, these are the things you're doing. I can prepare for them and build an armory in Hellions. What's this all about?
Might see a Hellbat push incoming?
You know, out of all the things that could happen, I'd say Hellions plus Armory, the odds are higher than normal for Hellbats. It's one of those things that potentially is possible, maybe likely, I don't know for sure, but, you know, definitely going to happen. We do have the Hellion count getting super high. We're going to come with Cloaked Banshees as well, and this is a pretty common thing to do. Pairing up the Cloaked Banshee with the Hellbat push can be quite strong. Sometimes you see a little bit more marine-heavy support, but here we are moving in. Nicely timed here. Hellbats are going to be moving forward, and they are brutal. Only 4 roaches on the way, and he's caught droning here. There were 6 drones in the queue that could have been units.
Yep, the Hellbats are moving into the natural. They kill a queen already and are about to get another one, and there's just not enough roaches here to kill this. More are coming out, but a Banshee's going to be coming across the map too very soon, and if he's losing queens, like, it'll still be able to pick off more units.
Yeah, losing queens, losing roaches, which could be turned to Ravagers to attempt to help, but even then, really the Spore Crawler and the Queen are your only means of reliable damage against a Banshee, and like you said, those units going down here, oh my god, these Hellbats getting so much damage done. Zergling's going to surround and disappear. And yeah, this is a pretty strong 1-2 punch here. And ooh, look at this. Dolan's getting vehicle weapons upgrade and building another factory.
It's mech
I really
time.
hope this game goes long. Yeah. Not something we get to see too often. Mech has been a bit sort of less optimal in Legacy of the Void due to the tank evac for the most part. And pretty strong Hellbat opener is going to be moving into mech here. Really cool stuff to see.
Yeah, somewhat surprisingly, not too many drones were killed by that Hellbat push. So far, Zergwave's only lost 3 workers, and one of them was killed by the Reaper. So the only real economic damage he's taken so far was because of units he had to make instead of drones.
That's a very, very good point. It was quite a defense for Zergwave. Lost a lot of units, but not drones. And in the long term, we're really more worried about the worker counts, which currently are even, but Zergwave being up a base is going to be quite strong here. Liberator's coming out, and
2 Banshees are moved into the 3rd, and there wasn't a Spore there, so the drones were forced to evacuate, and he's gotten 10 kills already.
oh my god, this is unreasonable amounts of damage.
15, and the Spore is finally going to finish at the 3rd, but not before 16 drones were lost. Oh gosh, 17. These Banshees will not be stopped.
Yeah, the fear of the Banshee is in him. He's building more drones, but these Banshees are hanging out. One of them has quite a bit of energy left over. Just waiting for a worker to hatch over here. Might be able to get one. We'll see.
And as a result of the Banshee harass that followed up the Hellbat push, Dolan's now in a comfortable position. He's up 10 workers against a Zerg player, which is an amazing feeling to have.
Yeah, and he's been building workers this entire time, so his army is quite small as well. He doesn't really have to worry about anything attacking him anytime soon. We do see Double Evo chamber coming down. Most of the time we see, it's an investment in late game. But you got to be careful with Zerg. Sometimes those Evos are just there to block a wall, but you have this position here, which leads us to believe, yes, indeed, Zergwave investing here into the late game. And like you said, Dolan in a very comfortable position.
So far, we haven't actually seen him make that many tanks. He's gone for a lot of Hellions and Hellbats and is adding a Liberators, but I think he only has 1 tank right now. 2 tanks, which is not as many.
One on the way as well. Yeah, pretty low on the tank count. And that's one of the things, too, with these new units, we are not quite done figuring out what the best unit compositions are or what even the different unit composition variations that are viable or useful in the various different scenarios. Dolan has been droning hard this whole time and is now finally up to 60 workers. Still behind.
Yeah, and he actually doesn't have his 4th hatch yet, which is somewhat scary against a Terran who has his 3rd and is building a 4th command center.
Yeah, pretty defensive posture here so far by Dolan. I'm really liking this Liberator Banshee Hellbat composition. He's going for +2 attack. Those Hellbats get a lot of damage done with the additional upgrades.
Dolan just scanned, I believe he used 4 scans at once to check every single 4th base location as well as scan Zergwave's main. So he actually has a perfect read on the timing of the 4th and any interesting things that might be happening. He did not see the Spire.
Wow, all those scans and no Spire. Very fortuitous for Zergwave, but it's not something he's going to be totally unprepared for. He's already got quite a few Liberators he's building 2 at a time. He also has a Thor coming in to help out as well. Blue Flame finishing up, +2, look at that. And I think that's one of the cool things you can do as a mech player. Since your army is, the important parts of your army are so gas intensive, you can go ahead and sacrifice a mule here and there for a scan. And then your bases are going to last a little bit longer as well. So nice moves here, I think, all around for Dolan. Very, very defensive posture. And even expanding to the south rather than towards his opponent.
Yeah, I'm surprised Dolan hasn't pushed out yet. If you look at the supply, it's a max Terran against a Zerg who is still at 154 supply. Dolan's army is very much superior to Zergwave, and it looks like, he just scanned forward. He's looking to put on some aggression.
Yeah, we got a Nidus position in the back of Dolan's main, potentially as this Nidus network finishes up. One of the disadvantages of mech is that you have a less mobile composition. And trying to abuse that now is Zergwave, throwing down that Nidus Swarm just as Dolan is moving out. This is going to be really good positioning for Zergwave, but he's going to have to leave a lot of units home to defend. This is a very, very powerful army.
Yep, and right as the Zerg army tunnels its way into the Terran's base, the Terran mech force reaches Zergwave's 3rd. So both of these players are about to lose a lot of their production and bases.
Yep, and it's all about, I feel, mobility here. Zerg has a bit of an advantage there. Dolan's got to make some decisive moves right now. He's moving pretty slowly, though. While his entire base getting ripped apart, does manage to lift off some of his factories. Very important moves over there. And Zergwave's just continuing to push stuff through, including drones. He's just going to have a base trade scenario. And not in that, we both killed each other's bases, but literally it's like, okay, you go on that side, I'll go on this side. I like the right side better anyway. I'm going to start building my base over here instead. Knight is very, very powerful in a base race scenario. Going to be running through, killing a lot of stuff here, but straight up fight, Dolan crushes through. You have to
right
really
now,
be worried there.
Right now the Terran supply is still at 188, whereas Zergwave supply has dropped to 123, which means the Terran army is much, much bigger. And the army supply is 123 to 90, so he's up an additional 30 supply right now.
A couple of workers coming across the map here, going to try to re-expand to the south section, going to run into a hatchery already under construction. And the drones! We have the drones. They're going to be chasing down this worker, and they might get a command center kill. Planetary Fortress, very important, very powerful in this kind of scenario. The Ravagers outrange it, though. Surprised he's not corrosive biling a little bit harder. Going to leave a couple units behind to deal some more damages. Oh, I don't know about this. Zergwave's got to be really careful about how he engages this army.
Fortunately for Dolan, he has 50 52 workers at that base, so he has plenty to repair if he needs to.
Yeah, absolutely. Will not have to sacrifice any income to repair at all. But the income war, the leader is currently Dolan, holding on to that base. Very important. Here we go. Got some corrosive biles coming down. None of them landing at all. He's going to get out here before the siege tanks fire up their shots. Siege tanks do get a couple shots off and start to whittle away this army. A lot of this attack is melee, though. The slow-moving Hellbat, but everything's getting set up over here. He's got to get out of there. Oh, man, this is so frightening for Zergwave. Getting run into a corner, and the Hellbats finally get on top of the army and roast everything alive. This looks like a victory for Dolan. GG, well played.
Yeah, that was a very interesting game because the armies managed to avoid each other for quite some time, having killed pretty much the entirety of each other's bases before we saw that battle.
Yep. Very interesting. I mean, but the problem, I think, for Zergwave was he was behind more and more throughout the game. Goes for this Nidus network as kind of a last-ditch effort, going to try and make it happen. But not enough. I think just the sheer power of Dolan, the army supply, the worker supply, having that planetary up, just made it so difficult for Zergwave to get anything done at all.
Yeah, so Zergwave, at least in Heart of the Swarm, he was actually a really solid player against Mech, and a lot of that reason came from he prefers more beefy army compositions, so he would prefer armies like Roach Hydra over Ling Bling Nita. So for Dolan to win that game with Mech against a player who likes to, play the let's build big, strong armies game, very impressive.
Yeah. I think that mass Hellbat like that, I haven't seen anything like that before. That was really cool to see. I wonder if that's sort of a build that he pulled out that he wanted to use this one time, or if Dolan's going to be trying that again. Next map will be Central Protocol. Another one of the changed maps in the most recent patch.
Yeah, the changes to that map weren't as huge as they were to the other maps. They removed the backdoor rocks and I believe removed one of the spawning positions. As opposed to Laralac, where they pretty much changed the map completely by allowing you to wall off easier and take a third easier.
I think Laralac was the biggest change out of all the map changes for sure.
And then moving the gold to the natural on Prion is also just like incredibly large and kind of revolutionized the way that map is played. Whereas this, it's a very kind of couple small subtle changes. Like it's harder to get backdoored into your main now, but that wasn't too big of an issue to begin with.
Yeah, still have the very exploitable long